all I hear from people claiming to be anarcho-capitalist is that you're a statist, you're a statist, you're a statist. Like that's gonna just shut me down. I hate to tell you, Mr. Capper, but you're a statist too. Except that you believe in a different kind of state, a private state. Governments can be public, they can also be private. They had private governments before. Yes, they have. Back in feudal times, when the kings owned the land and the lords owned the land, that was considered private property. And you had to do what the Lord said or what the king said, or it threw your ass off the fucking property, or worse. So that's the kind of vision that you want to have for the United States and the rest of the world. I say to that, no thanks. So it's really fucking ridiculous. These anarcho-capitalists think that they're against the state when in fact they're just advocating for a different kind of state system. Though they'll never really, admit the terms and definitions of it, because it seems that they really use their own version of the dictionary, right? They're definition kings unto themselves all of a sudden. Oh, man, I had one guy tell me, the dictionary is a left-wing propaganda racket or some shit like that. I'm like, no. Many people on the right use it to try to bash lefties over the head with shit that they're touting. So, which is it? But yeah, it's just really, really ridiculous when you really think about it. When it comes down to it, the reason that these anarcho-capitalists or maybe far-right libertarians, especially the ones that are far-right economic, anyway, the reason they come up with these things like the non-aggression principle and all these philosophies coming out of Ayn Rand and shit like that, they paint this whole narrative, right? They surround themselves with it. It's to make them look like they have some sort of principled worldview, and they're just trying to go along with that worldview. And in that worldview, you must do certain things like eliminate the public government in place of a private government. But maybe they don't realize that. And other things like taxation is eliminated, social programs are eliminated, which is really convenient. But when it comes down to it, and you really think about it, they paint this whole narrative around them because they're really covering up for the fact that they just deep down want to live in society as it is now. They want to enjoy all the happy advantages and benefits of living in such a society without having to be forced to pay for its upkeep after they benefited from it in the first place. That they wouldn't be able to make the kind of money that they're making if it wasn't for the publicly funded economic infrastructure in place that allowed them to be so gainful in the first place. You know what I mean? I can even make the case that not paying taxes on your income is actually a violation of the non-aggression principle. I even made a video on this. And that was a while back. So I love pissing them off with that. It's so good. Then of course they want to use different definitions, like I said before. Oh, that's not stealing. I'll consider stealing if it was only the only government. Never mind all the memes about, children with nukes, child labor, being sold voluntarily into slavery through contract. Never mind all this meme shit that is all incidental of the fucking, no government regulation, no government protection, just everything's ran by a bunch of private landowners. When all the land runs out, how am I going to buy it if I got no fucking money? Ain't no one going to give it to me. Because apparently land is currency then, So it's a whole goofy fucking narrative, and all of it is just to cover up for the fact that they want to live in society, enjoy all the happy, wonderful benefits of living in society without having to pay for its upkeep. It's just that fucking simple. So, if you're listening to this and you're an anarcho-capitalist, just know that I know what the gig is. Because truth be told, if you were that much of a, not all claim this, but plenty do claim that they're a rugged individualist who doesn't need any government. So I ask them this. I say, hey, listen, I'm not asking for you to leave. Okay, I'm not telling you to leave. I'm not like that. But I'm saying, if paying taxes on income is that fucking horrible, and living in society is that fucking terrible for you, and you're that much of a rugged individualist, and you can make it on your own truly, why are you here? Why are you staying in this society? I mean, why are you making an income? No one's forcing you to make an income. And they say things like, oh, well, I like it here. Well, why do you like it here? Oh, no, I just do. They kind of avoid answering that question. And we all know why. Or at least, hopefully you do now too. So, anywho, just my thoughts on the matter. Anarcho-capitalism is an oxymoron. It's a joke. They want to get rid of the state, but they'll end up being private states under themselves. It's just really goofy philosophy. It's like saying, hey, that's some really smooth sandpaper. No such fucking thing as smooth sandpaper. Even the fine grit shit is not smooth. Unless you're talking like 10 trillion grit, maybe. But then who makes 10 trillion grit sandpaper? That's just ridiculous. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you around.